I was muted. I was talking just. So, peace. Uh, who is the Ledge Group? That's what I titled this. And I felt maybe it made some sense to kind of walk through who we are, what we do, how we do, the good, the bad, the ugly, right? Talk through it, kind of orient the people. So I'm Peter Brown. I'm the CEO of the Ledge Group, the founder. I have two co-founders, my wife and Nkosi Mbutura, who is the COO. So I developed a model based on so many different things. And again, if you should join the Grand Risings group, which is the launch pad, then you'll be able to see kind of the initial stages, what happened. If you look on YouTube and look at the older videos, you'll see Echo Village. You'll see the Agave Initiative, African Global Academy for Virtualized Education. You'll see Echo Training, you know, where I did free A+ certification training and network plus certification, security plus certification training for my own. You'll see a lot of different initiatives that I began over the years, all focused on an individual goal, right? All focused on an individual thing. I'm not going to go into, you know, everything that led up to this, right? I'm not going to, it's too much. Like I said, if you look on YouTube, you'll see, yeah, like the videos are there for years, right? This is what I've been doing. But the Ledge Group, what I want to really make clear is that the Ledge Group is not one person. One person could not have possibly done this. Furthermore, I said that I'm the founder. I'm the founder because I kind of devised a model that would work. I paid to open up an LLC, and I did those things, right? And you know, fuel it. So yes, I'm the founder, but let's keep it real crispy, shall we? The fact is, all that I'm doing, all that the Ledge Group is doing, is actualizing what Marcus Garvey said to do. It's what Malcolm X said to do. I mean, truth be told, if you distill everything that those men said, they said that you couldn't be given back your pride while it was taken away from you violently. You can't be given it back. You can't be given back your self-respect. You can't be given back your original value system. These things can't be given to you, right? You can only produce them for yourself, right? And how do you do that? You produce them. You can produce a value system. You can produce your self-respect. You can produce your self-love. You can produce those things through building your own, right? I don't want to be where they speak about inclusion and diversity, right? Inclusion and diversity means that you're inviting me to sit at your table, right? But that ain't my table. You're letting me take crumbs from your table, but it ain't mine, right? So those things that, you know, the world speaks about, those are not suitable. And these things have been spoken to by way of our leaders. And it bothers me today that we are in the condition that we are, and we trade those things taught by our leaders for the vernacular of the forked tongue. The forked tongue's using words like racial equity. What the hell does that mean? What is racial equity? What is racial equality? Right? What is justice? Look, Trayvon Martin was murdered by a monster. He stalked that young child and he murdered that young child. And the people went into the streets and they screamed they wanted justice. And because they screamed they wanted justice, they went and arrested George Zimmerman, right? Then they brought him to court tried him by a jury of his peers, and they found him not guilty. Justice is served. That is your justice. It's an ambiguous term. It means nothing. Based on the literal definition, justice was served. Are you satisfied? Are you satisfied with the outcome relative to Trayvon Martin? So justice is far too ambiguous. Racial equity, racial equality, these things don't mean anything. They mean nothing. It is a forked tongue playing tricks. And we're repeating it, right? We're repeating the things that they say. We should vote. We should do all these different things, finding different ways and more creative methods to beg them to be at their table and accept rotten crumbs. If I should get wealthy, they got more wealthy, right? Yeah, I don't want to go, I didn't want to go too far into, you know, again, everybody, you should know these things. I don't need to tell you what America is or how it works. We're born in a casino. Casino never loses. The house never loses. We're born in a casino, right? Mathematically, it is impossible. It is mathematically impossible for us to not print the money, not control the interest rate, live in a place where 98.6% of the land in the contiguous United States of America is owned by those who do not like us. It is mathematically impossible that we could, given buying black for 100 years, buying the block for 1,000 years, you will still be buying it from somebody else. You will still be paying taxes to somebody else. You will still be at the mercy of their supply chains. You will still have to purchase the utilities from them. You will still have to buy insurance from them. You will still enrich them every single minute you're alive. From birth to death, from the moment you're born. When you're born, they made money from your parents. They got richer. They got stronger. When you learned to walk, they got richer. They got stronger. When you learned to ride a bike, they got richer. When you went to school, they got richer. When you got a girlfriend, they got richer. When you got married, they got richer. When you got sick, they got richer. And when you died, they got richer. They have monetized every second of our lives. And that is true for the foreseeable future unless we change it. Listen to the illustrious doctors and leaders and talkers. Ask yourself this. Even if we were to execute 100% of what it is they're saying, right? Does it build our own table, or are we sitting at somebody else's table? Which, right? Are we sitting at somebody else's table? Again, I'm not going to go into, I'm not going to cover ground that I've covered before. It doesn't make sense. That's not what I've come to do. What I came to do is speak about what we do, right? Who the Ledge Group is. And I wanted to make it very clear that the Ledge Group is not me, okay? Yes, I'm the founder. It is not me. Nothing that we have done, nothing that I'm about to explain could have been done by just me. It couldn't have, okay? It could not have been done by one person. That's not what Ledge is about. Ledge is Ubuntu. I am because we are. Ledge is a collective effort. It is a village, yeah? So again, none of the things that have been done, I have done alone. I couldn't have. Okay, we got 270 members. 270 members, I think, certified. My wife, you know what's gonna happen? Lisa's gonna, she's gonna see the video And she gonna put in the comment section, she gonna put the actual number. She gonna correct me, I promise. But we got 270 members, right? And again, I said the good, the bad, the ugly. Who is the Ledge Group? Start real basic. What we do is we partner with Africans throughout the world to produce mutual benefit. Africans on the continent have resources, but no capital. And we here in the diaspora have capital, but no resources, right? And this is intentional. And there is an intentional bubble that is over Africa that ensures that any resource, commodity, or good that comes out of Africa has to go through their hands first so that they benefit, okay? So recognizing this dynamic, this is what Marcus recognized. This is what Malcolm recognized very clearly, that there is this artificial void between us, the African continentally and the African in the diaspora. There is an artificial rift that exists between us, because if we were to ever realize how each of us is the key to each other's issue, that's it. Hey, look, no other continent on the planet Earth can exist autonomously without trade from another country, from another continent. None. 7 continents on the planet Earth, not one can exist autonomously without outside trade besides Africa. They don't want you to go back. They don't want you to know what's going on. They don't want you to know that in Tanzania today, and again, please, I could be mistaken, look it up and correct me. Correct me in the comments. I'm good with that. But the last I looked, $1 US equaled 2,375 Tanzanian shillings. What does that do? I can turn those shillings into hard assets, concrete, trucks, buildings, resorts. We can do things with intelligence, with a plan. We can do things in parity. We can do things. So what does the Ledge Group do? Very simply, we partner with Africans and we develop and cultivate mutually beneficial projects. We find, what can we do? What would you do if you, my executive director, could do anything that would have lasting impact in your life and in other lives? What would you do? Right? And I ask them, and they respond. So I'm not going into countries like Jan Michael Vincent like I got the answer for them. Nah, I don't. So I listen to them. I let them guide me. And so they tell me, okay, here's what we can do. Here's the land that's available. Here's the resource that's available. Here are the various things that I believe will have lasting effects and produce mutual benefit. They say that, awesome. The Ledge Group, again, in order to join the Ledge Group, there's a $1,000 membership fee. It used to be $400. In the beginning, it was a $400 membership fee. The people didn't hear. They didn't. Again, I'm not trying to. I don't want to be out there. I don't want to be known. You know, I really don't. I really, really don't. I'm introverted. People wouldn't believe it, but I am. I don't want to be known. I don't want to be at your party. I don't want to do none of that, right? And so, but what happened was the membership fee was $400, but suddenly the value of the membership was so uneven that we had to raise the membership cost. The land, so again, I'm trying to do this in a contiguous manner so I can go through things kind of sequentially. But the land, the members of the Ledge Group can buy 10 hectares. That's 24.5 acres of land in Zambia for $3,000. that land will immediately go into production. As it goes into production, all of the proceeds are agricultural productions, onion, potatoes, lettuce, livestock, whatever, okay? As it goes into production, the proceeds from the production on our members' land go to paying for their title, their survey, and to have that in their family's lands in their family's names forever. It does the longitude, latitude, and puts the land in the name of our members forever. Okay, that's 24.5 acres. If you look up the area that we're at, which is near Solwezi, and look up equivalent acreage, virgin land, 24.5 acres for sale, you'll see that in some instances it's costing 800,000 US dollars. 800,000 US dollars for the same amount of land that the members have at $3,000, right? That's just one small element of what membership entitles one to. But again, I want to step back, right? I want to step back. What do? We partner with the Africans on the continent. We produce projects and we work those projects. Some of these projects don't work. Some of these projects have challenges. In Kenya, we've been in Kenya a long time, a very long time. And when we first got to Kenya, we planted out mad acreage. You can see the videos on YouTube. There's 53,000 acres available to us. We planted out mad acreage. When you look at the videos, when you look at the pictures, your eyes fail before the landscape drops off and you can't see crops anymore. It's ridiculous amounts of land. We planted it out and then we were struck with drought, 7 months of drought. There were livestock dying. I have pictures. If you go back on my timeline, you can see the pictures. The livestock was dying. The people were being compromised. It was a problem. And it caused the solvency of the Kenyan project to be jeopardized. If you can't ensure drought doesn't destroy your crops, what can you do, right? So we crowdsourced and we dug wells, 2 of them, down 230 meters through solid rock and volcanic ash to hit 2 separate aquifers that will provide water infinitely. Infinitely, they will provide water. The aquifers do not require augmentation either from rainwater or from a body of water anywhere near. It's rock, right? It's water that will forever be produced. And so we solved the problem of drought, and the animals are no longer in jeopardy and the people are no longer in jeopardy. Well, then the area that we're in, Laikipia in Kenya, there are no trees. Deforestation has happened. This was a wetlands at one point, and it's been eroded by human practice. And so the land doesn't have any trees on it. If you look at some of the images, some of the videos, and some of the pictures relative to us being there, you'll see there's no trees. What that does is when rain does fall, it produces a condition where nothing is drinking the water and it becomes very dangerous. It sits there, right? So we dealt with the drought, right? By digging wells. And so now we had water. Guess what? Here come the rainy season. Now we had too much water. And again, a very dangerous condition for humans. So we just finished building a retaining wall to ensure that our areas that we work will not be flooded any longer. And so in Kenya, we've done fantastic work and we're very pleased. Our executive director won #2. I sure don't mind saying that. #2 in the entire country in youth in agriculture, right? So engaging the youth, getting them involved, and getting them proficient as it relates to agriculture and being able to feed themselves, we scored #2 in the entire country. That's bad. That's bad right there. All right. So this is Kenya. In Zambia, we have built a maternity ward. The people were in need of a clean, safe environment where babies could be born healthy. And so we worked with those people and we put that in place. We're expanding it now and we're continuing to build out a full medical complex in Zambia. We've done all these different things that I'm speaking about. No debt, no loans. How does that happen? It happens by people joining. So the membership fee that is required goes and does these things. It opens new businesses. It finances proof of concept projects. So what happens then is we can invest in a project. Somebody can say, hey, okay, I want to try to do this in this country or that country. And guess what? We're going to try it. If it succeeds, awesome. We push it, we grow it, we do what we can, we duplicate it. If it fails, guess what? It didn't kill anybody. Nobody died over that. It was money that came in and it is crowdsourced. That's how it's crowdsourced because every member contributes to something. My cousin, Tamika, is going to join very soon. And it was amazing for me to be able to tell her, guess what? When you join, your membership fee is going to go directly to the Free State of Kwakwa in South Africa, and it's going to buy the water filtration system that we're going to put in place to ease the struggle of those people in that area, right? And so what we can do is we can watch, right? As members come, we can watch growth happen. So in Zambia, we're building out that medical complex. In addition, we're building out a trailer currently, which is a food trailer. That food trailer will serve as a venue whereby when we grow our foods on our fields, we have direct source to be able to sell that. We ran into challenges. Again, I said we were going to talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly. We ran into challenges, not only in Zambia, but we ran into these challenges in South Africa. We ran into these challenges everywhere. And these challenges were this. In order to grow large quantities of food, right? We grew tomatoes. You couldn't imagine how many tomatoes we grew. Watermelons, these things. In order for us not to lose the value of the crop, what we had to do was we had to offer them to vendors in these countries on consignment, right? So we're giving them watermelons, they ain't paid for them. We're giving them tomatoes, they ain't paid for them, right? So what happens is, come settle up time, things get funny, right? So this has happened repeatedly. So what we had to do was we had to develop a solution so that we did not have to offer these foods on consignment and wait for payment. So they are building a trailer, a food trailer, and we also have a retail location over there in Zambia. We also purchased a tow truck. There's a million, the population there is 1 million people in Solwezi, and there's never been a tow truck there, ever. And so we bought a tow truck. We were supposed to get the tow truck branded, but by the time it landed on the ground there about a month ago, a month and a half ago, it hasn't stopped moving. It just keeps, like the police, the insurance companies, the ambulances, like every service needs it. There's 1 million people and they never had a tow truck. So that's a fantastic model that's running. We like what it's doing and we'll expand it. We'll grow that. We'll add additional trucks. Logistics is everything. Every general in history lost their engagements based on the inability to secure their supply chains, their logistics. That's what destroyed every general in history. inability to control the supply chain. So logistics is gigantic. It's one of the things that you must first consider. So we've got trucks in Zambia. We got trucks in Kenya. We've got safari vehicles. You've seen on my Facebook page the Land Rover Defender being fabricated in all of these areas. An amazing thing, and you just really, again, you can't really appreciate it until you go and until you see what's really going on. My people there in Zambia, in Tanzania, if they need a car part, if they need a starter, if they need an alternator, if they need a car part, they fabricate it. They make the car part. They don't have blueprints from the manufacturer. They fabricate it with precision. And the life expectancy of the parts that they fabricate are greater than the factory parts. Real. This is how they're getting down in Africa, because they have to, right? Man, when I got there, and everywhere I go, you know, I'm coming from, you know, Boston. I'm coming from the streets, right? And I'm, you know, I'm going to these different places in the world, and I'm like, man, y'all can't tell me nothing about no hustle. I know hustle. You know what I mean? I get up in there and I see how they getting down. Yeah, make me feel short. You know what I'm saying? So Zambia is well covered. We have Burger Life. If you find Burger Life on Facebook, we have a burger franchise launching in Zambia. So Zambia is fantastic. Many of our members own a lot of land there. We've got some very definite and exciting plans for Zambia. Tanzania, again, I spoke to the Land Rover Defender that we are refurbishing. This is because we are opening a safari and resort. Our executive director has been in the safari business. His father was in the safari, and it's the #2 safari location in the world. The exchange rate, as I said, is about $1 to 2,375 Tanzanian shillings. That doesn't really mean anything to us here in America. What does that mean, right? It means that we can build a 5,000 square foot resort with a centralized cooking and centralized dining, with 2 lodges, each able to sleep 4 to 6 people, for $16,500, right? That's what it means. It means that I can take the dollars that I have here, send them there, and build forever. The goal of the Ledge Group is to produce food, clothing, shelter, water, healthcare, security, sanitation, education, and the services that are essential to our survival into the next 72 hours. It is to provide them for ourselves. Our enemy is dependency. It's dependency. You're not in a war. A war assumes that there is an equal potential for either side to win, but you are not in a war when a man can shut off your water and compromise your entire army. That's not a war. That's not a war. We cannot be 100% dependent upon another people and in any way, shape, or form call ourselves free. That's not free, right? That's not free. That's dependent. So what the Ledge Group was built to do was produce food, clothing, shelter, water, healthcare, security, sanitation, education, to produce the essential needs that a human being had 3 million years ago, and a human being will have 3 million years from now. Those are the things that are keeping you a slave. Not a lack of education, not a lack of jobs, not a lack of voting, not a lack of marching and chanting, not a lack of anything that anybody could possibly give you, but the lack of control of the essential elements that keep you alive. That is what makes you a slave or free, period. No matter who you are or what color you are, right? So what do? We produce those for ourselves. So we partner, we build, again, 16.5 to build out a resort, 5,000 square feet, and we can bolt on, we can add on as we move along. Our safari will be in Ngoro Crater. I encourage you, go look up Ngoro Crater. It's going to blow your mind. Ngoro Crater. Absolutely blow your mind. It's life in a way we only thought somebody else could live. We only thought somebody else could see. We thought that was for them and not for us, man. And that's our people. That's our people there. I'm looking at people that look like me, man. I'm like, whoa, yeah. So this is ours, right? This is ours. All we need to do is deal in parity. Like I said, everything that we do, 50% sticks to the continent. I don't care. The jobs that are produced will be local jobs. We're not bringing anything back into the United States of America. As far as Uncle Sam is concerned, I'm broke, going through Kentucky Fried Chicken garbage barrels looking for bones with meat on them. Nothing's coming back here. I'm not building this up. Enough of my family spent their energy building America. We're building our own. So again, everything that we do, 50% sticks on the continent. And the 50% that doesn't stick still stays on the continent because we're building our own. So in Uganda, I visited last year, and I visited the people of Sharonko, Brother Peter. And you'll see videos with Peter and myself. And they made me do everything relative to growing coffee and harvesting and doing work with it. And we provided inputs to the farmers' families in the form of boots and farm tools, hoes, and like that. And since then we have imported their coffee. I haven't had another kind of coffee since we began importing the Bugishu. And it's a wonderful relationship. It's growing. I think we have garlic growing in Uganda. I think we have vanilla growing, slightly longer crops. We did Irish potatoes. We had an Irish potato failure. I think maybe we had one or two Irish potato failures. We engage in agriculture, and things don't always go according to what you think in agriculture. It's difficult. But again, we adapt, overcome, right? So Uganda is promising. Things are pleasing there. In the Free State of Kwakwa, South Africa, we just had a brick maker delivered there. And we gained a contract where we are providing a store owner that owns 4 or 5 stores and sells bricks today. And so we're going to provide that store owner with bricks for their stores. And so that's a very nice contract on the bricks. Free State of Kwakwa in South Africa also happens to be where we're going to place the reverse osmosis filtration system. We have a spring on our land that has produced water for thousands of years. And the people of South Africa are out of water. If you remember a couple of years back, they had a date that South Africa was going to be out of water. If you look up on YouTube, the impossible choice in the Free State of Kwakwa, you'll see what's happening. These people don't have water, basic water. So yeah, when something becomes evident in my consciousness, I become responsible. You're responsible for what you know. You're responsible for what you know. So I know those people don't have water today. Tomorrow, we will solve that problem. And so we'll put water in the Free State of Kwakwa. If y'all see me, y'all hear me, we coming. I love y'all. We're coming. We will bring you clean water. Where they are thirsty, we're going to bring the water. Where they are hungry, we're going to bring the food. Where they need opportunity, we're going to produce the jobs. Where there is darkness, we're going to bring the light. So in Ghana, I visited in November, and we performed a series of solar or alternative energy engineering workshops for the youth there. And we cultivated student trainers, and we left them equipment so that they can continue those lessons. And so as it stands now, they're teaching these lessons on a regular basis. They built a portable photovoltaic solutions company, and they're deploying jobs, and they're doing amazing things. The UCC reached out to have us train 2,000 of their students in alternative energy engineering. And so Ghana is very promising. I also have a new executive director in Ghana. We were granted land in the Kumasi region. And we have a new executive director in Ghana, and we are looking at some various agricultural opportunities there as well. We have our executive director in Nigeria, and he's growing an awful lot of food, and it's a project that I have to reinvigorate. We had challenges. We had significant challenges in Nigeria. And we took a loss, and we're recovering from that. So again, what the Ledge Group does, if you think about what it is that I've just described and the things that we're doing, again, I said food, clothing, shelter, water, healthcare, security, sanitation, and education. These are the things that we as a people need. These are the things that we are dependent upon someone else for. Well, we built a maternity ward. We dug those wells. We farmed that food. We produce business models. We produce alternative energy models all over the continent. We have security. Businesses set up in each and every one of our I'm sorry, they're not set up yet. They're being set up in each and every single one of our operating areas. In Tanzania is the #2 safari destination in the world. That means that we can bring our legally licensed weapons there, and we can set up our training facilities there, and we can build our shooting ranges there, and we can protect our living there. So again, I didn't mean to spend a lot of time. I didn't mean to go all around the world. What I really did want to do was highlight what it is the Ledge Group is and how we do that. And so as it stands, all of the things that I've described, we don't owe anybody. We've never taken a loan. We have no debt. We do not answer to anyone. We do what we want to do. We don't have to ask. I don't have to approach governments. I don't have to request permission to do any of these things, and we do it. And we partner with the people on the ground. And guess what happens? When we do that, when we partner with the people on the ground and we work in parity with our own people, guess what happens? They reach out and they say, yo, y'all want 1,000 acres? Take that. That's yours. That's yours. Anything that you want, it's yours. You know why? Because we built a reputation, because we've done those things. We are putting in place the solutions that will serve our generations, 10,000 generations into the future. See, the circumstances that we live with were not put in place by Donald Trump. They were put in place by men 300 years ago that would never see the result of the efforts that they put into place, and they still had the resolve to put them in place. We must have 10, 20, 100 times the resolve of those that produce the conditions that we live in today. I cannot look at my own lifetime. I cannot be satisfied with being able to produce a solution for one lifetime. We need to produce solutions for 1,000 lifetimes into the future. And that is what the Ledge Group is. So we ain't made no money. Why we're still here? The Ledge Group CEO, myself, the COO, hating me, and Lisa as the founder as well. We've never made a single dime. We don't make money from the Ledge Group. The Ledge Group doesn't sell anything. We don't have anything. Again, the IRS thinks I'm going through Kentucky Fried Chicken barrels. You see what I'm saying? We don't make anything. The goal is not to make money. The goal is to produce freedom. See, if I can produce food, clothing, shelter, water, healthcare, security, sanitation, and education, what do I need money for? Right? The money is an intermediary that ensures that every time I touch it, every time I use it, every time I do something with it, my enemy gets richer. The only way that I could turn that around on him was siphon his money out of his system and build my own, right? That was the only way that we could change that dynamic. This is what we do. We've been very successful. We've been here for many years. We continue to grow in every area. We continue to learn and adapt and build on, and we will be here again 10,000 generations into the future. The children will be fed. The thirst will be slaked. We will ensure that our own people and our own solvency exists within our own hands. So again, I'm not looking in some other man's hands to find my pride. I'm not looking in some other man's hands to find my dignity and my self-respect and my self-esteem and the respect of my woman. I'm not looking for somebody else to give me these things. Senator Elizabeth Warren can't give me these things. Donald Trump can't give me these things. Nobody can. It can't be legislated. It can't be mandated. It can't be enforced in any way, shape, or form unless and until we determine to build those things that we need for ourselves. This is who we are. This is the Ledge Group. Again, it's not one man. It's not about one man. The movements of the past all used an individual model, which led to a fatal flaw. The individual model allowed one man to be the leader, to be the tip of the spear. And as long as you have a focal point, as long as you have a tip of the spear, as long as you let your enemy tell you that that man is a leader, then they have one man that they need to kill and destroy your efforts. So I'm fully aware of that failure point, of the fact that when the tip of that spear should be broken, the weapon's solvency fails. So what we had to do was we had to build something that was far different than a spear, but far more like a hammer. Like a hammer. And the hammer, while there may be a nick taken out of the surface of that hammer, it may be nicked, but that hammer will still strike true. It will still strike with force and it will still do what it's supposed to do. So you might be able to remove a small nick from the hammer, but you can't stop it from doing its job. This is the model, not a spear, a hammer. And we've built a hammer. We've built in redundancy and succession models to ensure that it doesn't matter what happens to me. It doesn't matter what happens to me. The Ledge Group will persist and exist as long as I've just said it will. It always will. It has been built that way. So again, I'm gonna wrap up. I've been talking a long time, I'm gonna wrap up. The way to begin to join and work with us is to find the Grand Rising group on Facebook. That is the screen door. Our security teams will go through your profile. They will look at who you are. They will look at what you post. They will look at your energy, at your spirit. They will do some investigative work. And if it is appropriate, they will allow you entry into the Grand Rising's room. Once you're into the Grand Rising room, read the description. Don't make a mistake. Don't make the mistake. Again, our security has to be tight. And so there are landmines that you can run into very easily. We set them there, okay? So read the description, go into the files section, read the files, read what it is that we do, how we do. Scroll down the page. The very first post from the day that that room was made is there, and you can read it. You can see the good, the bad, the ugly, the successes, the failures, the people that have called me all kinds of B's and MFers. You can see all you can see all that. It's there. You should ask questions. You will be in a room with the executive directors from all of the countries all over the world. You will be in the room with members of the Ledge Group, as well as those that are trying to become members and making payments to get to full membership. So you will be in the room with everybody that's doing everything. Ask every question that you have. Ask every question that you have, and make sure you understand how we work. Once you understand how we work, I'm going to take it even a step further. Once you understand how we work, then stop asking our friends, start looking at our enemies. Start looking at our enemies. Start to look at the YouTube videos that have been produced and see the age of them, see how long we have been doing this and focus on giving things. And look at those people that don't like us and what they're doing. And look at them following behind us and everything that we've said. So again, do your research on everything. Malcolm was a big fan. Don't you join anything you don't know what the hell it is. Do your research. Understand how we work. Understand how we move. And only when you are completely confident and you have no questions as it relates to what it is that we do, how we do it, and you determine that you want to be a part of it, then and only then can you join the Ledge Group. You are welcome home. And at that point, you are welcome to take advantage of absolutely everything that we have available to us. You can build your resort for 16.5 in Tanzania. You can have your land in Zambia. You can have and go anywhere in the world. You will then be under the umbrella of the Ledge Group and everything that we've cultivated, the reputation that we've produced, and everything that is available to us in every country all over the planet Earth is at your feet. You are welcome. So again, I done went so much further than I was supposed to. I just want to make a quick video and, kind of illustrate. I hope it's clear. I hope it's succinct. I'm gonna listen to it again. And generally speaking, when I do, I'm like, man, I wish I could do that again. I didn't say what I wanted to say, or, because I'm not reading no notes. I don't do this straight from the dome. I'm speaking to you. I'm not reading notes. I don't do that. So hopefully it's been clear. Hopefully I illustrated what I kind of came to do. All right. So appreciate it. Peace when it's practical.